experts in shambles.
Don't eat the Snickers.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hope you've all had a fantastic start to your day. Welcome to Tuesday's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. And a reminder, as always, guys, that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Chef Jack as Dr. Will's Outlook, and of course, Big Louie Tuesday. Welcome, guys. Yesterday, the bulls were out in full force. Today, I imagine we're going to have quite a few bears in the comments. Regardless, we're going to have a great show today. I hope you all brought your A game because, yeah, we're going to be breaking down exactly kind of where we think price is going from here and all of the potential scenarios that we can foresee this week. I guess it's not completely surprising to see that Bitcoin's lower time frame price action is still not necessarily cooperating. But before we can start cooking, guys, before we can start sharing all of that big, juicy alpha, we always appreciate when you can slam that like button for us. And we kind of gave you a pass yesterday, but today I'm going to ask you guys to channel your inner animal spirits, to whatever you need to do to hit that like button, to move that mouse about 2 inches up or down the screen to smash that like button for us. We would be very, very appreciative. But let's get into the charts, guys. I do see a few of you asking about Tucker and Max. They are both currently vacationing.
Fired.
Yeah, they're gone forever. They are vacationing in Europe. They're having a great time while we are stuck with this lower time frame churning. I guess that's fitting because when I was out of town, I left them and they got stuck with this lower time frame churn. So let's have a great show though, guys. Let's have a great show. Bitcoin obviously on a lower time frame today, not necessarily cooperating. We got a nice little rip into the New York Open. Let's go live actually to the Berlin Wall. I'm gonna pull a me on you here, Will. I'm gonna steal the screen. We talked about this yesterday. Live at the Berlin Wall. Look how clean that ended up being, man, on a lower time frame. You would have gotten actually a pretty nice short setup here. They baited quite a few longs, and as we can see from the volume down here, quite a few of our bullish soldiers have fallen. So who will emerge victorious from this level? I continue to say this is probably the most important local level for Bitcoin. 63, 64K, you're more or less, you're splitting hairs at the end of the day because it's a huge level. Both of them are huge levels. When you've spent so much time in a range, the levels become a bit thicker, right? But the reaction to the sell-off, I think, will be more telling than the sell-off itself, right? Is it going to be one of those situations, of course, where you potentially retrace back down into this low, or are you going to carve out some sort of higher low here before moving to higher prices? I think there are a few different scenarios and ways that this could play. And like I said, we are going to be breaking it down on this stream. But that is my thoughts on Bitcoin, right? Like it is more or less a game of chicken at this current level. So I would say that about Bitcoin. Obviously, altcoins are not necessarily responding in kind, although I would say that there are a handful of altcoins that have shown a pretty nice level of strength in the wake of this little dump that we've had on a lower time frame, right? Like look at something like Sol, good bounce back, showed a lot of strength overnight. Bonk showed a lot of strength overnight. That cascade is pretty funny, not surprising on a meme coin, but these are just examples, right? I think it really comes down to what Bitcoin is going to do. Ultimately, altcoins they're levered beta, but equities as well. I think they were red this morning. They're more or less just like waffling back and forth. It's a boring summer for equities, as Chem Carson has put it so appropriately. But I'm going to go ahead and open the floor, guys. I want to get right into discussion live from the Berlin Wall. What are our thoughts on the sell-off that we had this morning? I know Will talked about it yesterday on stream, the potential to swipe some of these liquidations lower. So far, we have done that. Do we bounce out of here, guys? Do we continue lower? What are we thinking, and what are we seeing in the markets?
All I know is
It's over.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Who could have foreseen that we were going to come back down and fill the empty liquidity because we didn't have a wick on the bottom of the candle? Oh man, rough times, guys. I guess we're going back to 40K. It wasn't talked about on the show live yesterday before it occurred today. But I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm in shambles. Oil's going to destroy my entire livelihood and my entire generation's livelihood, because commodities, are basically starting to form their wicks on the high because they're going to break out. That's how breakouts occur. They form wicks on the high at the high position, and then they go a lot lower, and that's how they break out. Now I'm being a little bit facetious there with the oils conversation. I think looking at Bitcoin, I mean, there's potential, and I know a lot of people don't want to see it or hear it because, well, you can go right back to 60K, maybe 61, somewhere in that range. Wouldn't want to, again, see it break its low. You don't want to see that. And I think low time frame, that these lower moves don't really matter as much, in my perspective. You could retap that low you got shown there at 60K, Tommy, and I think you're still fine. I don't think you violated anything. But I think if you do go lower than that and you hit that lower low and you hit that 58K, now you can start entertaining something, right? You can start entertaining more lull sideways, more downtrend potential, but it's not going to be anything extreme in my opinion. But that's where you can start entertaining downside. We just want to see the structure hold. That's it. It's not a difficult process. It's just a patience process. This market is testing the shit out of people's patience right now. That's exactly what it's doing. And I think if you go to if you take this range and all this shit that we're dealing with right now, can you show them, Tommy, the 25 to 30K range? Like, you guys think this is pain? Some of you are new, right? Sit here through this shit and believe
Honestly,
in the market.
I think the current range is worse than this one. I'm gonna be real.
Bro, that was
painful. This part was terrible.
Quite a statement.
This part was terrible, but I think the current range is even worse. I'm not gonna lie.
Look to the right. No, look to the right of that range.
But you got this opportunity, right? Like in between.
Yeah. No, but we already got that. I
know.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Look right there at that shit right there at the lows. You literally grinded the floor the whole time. You laid down and you were just sitting there flopping, doing nothing else. That's all you were doing, like a fish. And everybody's like, "Oh no, it's over, guys! It's over!" And it ripped right out the floor.
It looks like we pump and dumped like 3 times, grinding higher.
Yeah, it forced its way through resistance, and it was forced. It was manipulated, but who cares? Who cares? It's not about is it manipulated or is it not manipulated. It's about being right on the trade so you can take advantage of the manipulation, right? I hate when people say manipulation, but they don't take the play. It's like if you knew it was manipulation, you would have played the play, but instead you said it's manipulation and you never took the play. That means that you're just hindsight talking manipulation. Nobody gives a shit about hindsight manipulation.
It's like knowing that the whole, dollar is manipulation from central banks, but being calling for a recession for 20 plus years. That's the same. If you know the whole financial markets are manipulated to some degree with money printing and stimulus and quantitative easing and all of that,
put it back on there,
position with it.
Put it back on there. Look how painful that would be, huh? Who talked about this fractal? Ugh, that would be a painful move, right?
Very painful.
Oh wait. No way, Jose, right? Or Jose, depending where he's from. Like this. This needs to be highlighted. This is something that Max would sign 100%. And it is what it is.
No way, Jose, Jackass. Just saying.
And I'm telling you guys, like, I'm as bullish as they freaking get. Like, I've literally taken 0 profits at this point. I'm holding all my bags here at the lows. because I know it's the lows. Like, why the hell would I sell here? It makes 0 sense to sell here. So, I mean, with that fractal, it's going to be painful, obviously, right? But I think, like, if people know what they're looking to get out of this market, then what the hell does it matter? What does it matter? Unless you guys are scalpers, like, you're just straight capping at this point. You're like, you don't. The only people that can play this range are scalpers. I'll just put it like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, Popeye is probably making a fucking killing in this range. But the rest of you guys, like, you're not swing trading this range. So I don't even know why you're trying. There's no swing. There's no volatility. There's a little bit of scalp action here and there on the super low time frames. But I mean, did you guys have anything else on Bitcoin? Because I have a lot of charts I want to talk about.
Go for
No,
them.
bro,
man.
I'll let you cook, bro. I'll let you cook. I'll give you the screen back. I just had to go live to the Berlin Wall to start the show.
I don't think there's anything on Bitcoin worth entertaining. Like,
Who is
so
this
much-
dude that has said like 8.5K Bitcoin 3 times fast in the comments?
Oh,
I've never seen it before.
I think he's trolling.
He's
but-
done it. He's done it like 6 or 7 times actually. No, more than that, brother. If I'm telling you, if you post it again, I'm gonna ban you. You're not gonna spam our
Give me the
comments.
hammer.
I don't care if you're bearish, but don't spam the comments, brother. Be respectful.
He just keeps on going down from 10K.
I know.
Started at 10K.
Big countdown.
There's nothing wrong with being bearish. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask on the panel. I don't care if you're bearish, but but don't spam the comments. Be respectful to others.
So if we could highlight Cycler AV's comment. Cycler AV, I'm sure this is your first 20 minutes of watching this show in your entire life, but we discuss TA all the time, buddy. Like, all the time. And if there's a lick of professionalism in the CT space, let alone in probably most of the channels on YouTube, I would love to see it. Because I can tell you, I very much don't see anything in either or. I see a lot of people doing this, a lot of people doing that, but I don't see a lot of TA discussion. We actually went over a lot of TA yesterday, right? We talked about swiping these lows because there's no wick on the candle body. We talked about candle body formations the week before. We talked about the current range and where the close needed to end up, which it did. And we also discussed the hammer doji here at the low and why its significance in this current range is important. So, yeah, I do have a bottle of milk and some protein if you need. But professionalism, LOL. So, anyways, moving on to the chart. Oh, look at that, Tommy. So, I believe we talked about yesterday where you and me had the discussion of EVs starting to take over the market, and everybody's like, they're not looking at opportunity. They're looking at one thing and one thing only. And we gave the opportunity, right? And we started with Rivian, and now here goes Tesla. And if you guys think I'm playing about Lucid, just keep watching. I'm telling you guys, like, as people become richer, they start to buy dumb shit. What's dumb shit? A car that can go 100 miles before it needs to be charged again. That's dumb shit. So in that case, people start buying these things because they feel richer. They're like, hey, why not have my my monster truck that sucks down my entire gallon of or my entire tank of gas, in roughly a couple hours, no matter how I'm driving or where I'm driving it, and my Tesla that is going to run out of energy within 100 miles because I have all this extra money. This is people's thought process. I'll use my Tesla to go to my neighbors across the street. I'll use my truck to go to the desert. So looking at that, we're starting to see Tesla sales go up. We're starting to see Rivian sales go up. We're starting to see Lucid sales go up. And in that economy, you're starting to see a boom in these sectors. Now, again, I talked about this last time. By the way, sorry, excuse me, when price was all the way down here, right? When price was all the way down here. And now we're up here pressuring the highs. Do we roll or do we go? And I basically stated, if we go, expect a run into a retap of the higher end liquidity, right? Which breaks the downtrend. You get that break of downtrend, you better be bullish. You better be bullish. That's all I'm telling you. Because if you're not bullish, you're going to miss out on opportunity. And if price does that, I'm giving you the full play. I'll pull all the way back to trend, a retouch, and a go. That's what I'm expecting for price. Professionalism, right? Professionalism. So looking at that, again, I can't say this market at even one teensy-weensy bit with Bitcoin because the Tesla's going to go up. Bitcoin's going to go up. They move in tandem a lot of the time. A lot of the time. Bitcoin, we discussed this, and I basically said, okay, I had to repeat myself because professionalism. We might come back down, retest the low, and then come back up and retest the high. Now, why did I say that? Why would Will say that? Where's Big Sal, by the way? I miss him.
Where is Big Sal? I need Big Sal to save my bags.
So here's why I said that. What do we see? Doji candle, right? What do we see the consecutive month? Downtrend candle, right? What do we see after that downtrend candle? Uptrend, uptrend. What do we see right here? Doji candle, right? What do we see the next month? Downtrend candle. What do we see? Oh, I feel like swipe or no swiping right now with Dora. What do we see down here? Down candle. And then what should we see? Uptrend. Do you guys see how mechanical this market is right now? It's so mechanical, it's not even funny. It's so mechanical, it's not even funny. Now, granted, we could get 2 months of red, right? We could if they really wanted to. But the range is solidified, guys. It's really, really solidified. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. It's not difficult to see your highs. It's not difficult to see your lows. As long as these two areas remain the same, you're in a range. That's what it is until this range widens and or tightens. One of the two. Now, we had the same mechanical move right in here. Check it out. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, breakout. Downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, potential breakout. Did I make it easy for everybody? I think I made it pretty easy there for everybody. Everybody's expecting a reversal. Why? Why? We haven't even proven a reversal. I gave you 4 points on both ranges. We're about to hit the fourth. The only way that this reverses is if you violate this low. You have to break 57.5. Body candle close. You get below that, you're cut it. Got it. You're going deep. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think you have so much room here. And not only do you have so much room, your RSI is lining up really well with trend, right? Still holding. Your stochastic is completely floored. Now, I want you guys to understand, I highlighted yesterday before we closed out the chat where your stochastic is the most valuable. At what range, and I'm hovering it, is the stochastic most valuable? 0.56, right? 0.56, 0.56, 0.56. Where are we at right now? Tommy, where are we at right now on the stochastic?
I can't read it.
I said the number. 0.56. That's where we're at.
So lower then, right?
So lower. Exactly. I can't make it any easier. All right. Is lower. Like if you're expecting downside, expect this. Like you're gonna freaking literally waterfall to the Valhalla to the downside, right? Or you're going to Hades. We're going to Hades. That's where you're going. So you break down, you bounce up, you're going back down. But again, information high, guys, until it's not, right? Because all the bears in this range were drawing this. This is what they were drawing. That's what they were looking for. That's what they were looking for, right? What are all the bears doing right now?
They're probably having a pretty good morning.
They're doing
You're talking about right
thing.
now, or what time frame are you talking about?
No, but they're drawing this pattern. They're drawing this pattern again, right? They're not understanding the range. They're looking at this as an information high with no neckline break. With no neckline break. Tommy, would you take a short on anything without a neckline break? On an M.
On a what?
On an M formation. On a head and shoulders. On anything that requires a neckline break, would you take the short before the neckline break?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't, but if I did, it'd be a really risky trade.
He's basically asking if you would take a short at support.
Exactly. That's what I'm
You're
asking.
gambling on support breaking before it's actually broken, essentially. So, you might be right, you might not be.
Call me crazy when y'all have no idea what you are doing. Y'all see in 2025. What? All right, let's bring Andrew on. He's going to show us how to do this. Send him a link. I don't know.
It's like every week we have somebody new on this stream I've never seen before that just likes to shit talk us for no reason.
I don't know if it's the same person making different accounts.
Oh,
or what.
Caspa will overthrow Ethereum. Oh, brother, he's one of those. It's bullish on Caspa, right? It reminds me of the Cardano people from 2021. Coltish, never actually going to happen, but the price will appreciate a lot, So maybe I should buy some Caspa, man.
For sure. Cardano was one of my best plays in the prior cycle because I was really buying at the lows and it went up like 3,000-4,000, probably more. I do not even remember, but it was so good. And then I legit dumped at the top, no regrets.
Now, I'll
it went up, 15,000%.
Yeah. I'll point this part out. If
I was selling at 7. Sorry, Bill. Continue.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. You see how they broke through right here? Maybe if you want to be ultra safe, I'll be the contradictor, right? If you want to be ultra safe, wait till they break the high. Just I did it here. But you're going to be buying a lot higher. You're going to be buying a lot higher before you see it coming. But the second they break this high, set buys above here, right? Now, where am I talking about here? Here. If you want to be ultra safe, wait until they get way above this range, and now you're safe, right? And now you can play for whatever's left of the move. But me, I prefer to eat the meat of the move. And so I'm trying to buy anywhere's in here because my upside potential is way better than yours. But if you want to be ultra safe, buy the breakout, right? Sell the breakdown. That's all I can really tell you guys. Selling here it's mental fatigue for me to tell people, hey, there's cyanide on that candy, don't eat it. There's cyanide on that candy, don't eat it. There's cyanide. I have to keep repeating myself.
Snickers.
When I'm hungry, okay, but you're gonna die if you eat that. What are you talking about? So you're at range lows. Just be cautious with listening to people about range lows. I talked to Tommy about this one right here. This is a pretty interesting one. I do think though, Tommy, with Rivian, I do think they'll fill the gap. I do want to be clear about that. I do think they'll fill the gap. But I talked about this higher time frame swing, which I think is still going to occur. So it's kind of like right up here in the 17K range where the most activity is, and I think they'll come back and hit this. It's kind of like that's like your POC, right? So you have like a lot of price activity right in here where the chart keeps pivoting to it, and I still think that they're going to swing this before they swing down. Something like that. That's what I think is going to happen in this one. And that will fill this gap. Gap fills are so easy to play on stocks, but everybody's short from here and here, right? So what are they going to do? Well, they're going to expire them worthless because everybody saw the jump here and everybody jumped in on short positions. They put puts in on the stock. It reminds me almost like GME, like we had the opportunity to get out and we didn't do it. And then they ripped us. And that's what they're going to do right here. They gave people the out for the short, and now they're starting to build back up. And I think that they're going to push it back up and then run it back down so they come back in with shorts again.
I don't even think it would need to. That could be like a nice island bottom you got there. And that could be a breakaway gap and it just never revisits it.
Never. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I always look at these and I'm like, okay, it never came back to it. And then later on it goes and does this.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, these guys are predatory as hell, but they took their time coming back, but they still came back and filled even though they took their time coming back. So I have never really seen a Rivian gap that hasn't gotten filled. Like they even filled this whole one right here. If you look right here, look. That whole gap just got filled with this move.
Yeah, I don't trade equities too much, but like just from what I've learned, textbooks say you do got to take that with a grain of salt, but you got a clear island bottom, you got a gap up. And those are bullish. Those are really bullish, especially if they
you're talking about this.
I'm talking about that whole chunk. Yeah, that's your island. That's your breakaway island. It broke away down, and then it broke away up. So you call that an island bottom because it's standalone island there. It also looks like a little mini head and shoulders too.
Inverted. Yep, inverted head and shoulders. Yeah, and we could look at it as inverted head and shoulders. We can look at it as a deviation low. Like what Bitcoin did. There's a lot of things here that kind of showed that prices recaptured and kind of pulled away from this and started shifting back to the upside. So it was a pretty easy play for me to take the long position on this one because and it's very predatory, just the same like 1-1. Then this is your breakdown and this is your breakout. And if you're going to retest, you should retest the entire move all the way back up. And yeah, you're right. Like this could be the beginning of some kind of like breakaway move here where this thing just goes this way, comes back this way, goes this way again. It comes all the way up here, some crazy number all of a sudden, and doesn't even attempt to cool down really. And I think with the Volkswagen stuff, that's pretty bullish also. So I think there's just so much going on right now. And then your dot play seems to be just kind of hovering at the moment. Looks like Ave wants to just come back to trend, but I really like this foreign bottom here. I really like that foreign bottom. I think that's strong. And then this right here is the same thing. Look at Kusama. Same thing, right? Like we could even do the inverted head and shoulders.
Every time you talk about Kusama, Will, I go back and I feel like I'm in a time machine.
I know, right? Yeah, Kusama's I don't even know why people bid it. Like it blows my mind, but people do.
Well, you heard heard that people were getting paid to shill dot. Are you getting paid?
Yeah. I was just gonna mention, Tommy, that like today there was some traffic going on that Polkadot spent 40 million in the past months for marketing.
Where do I get paid to show that?
They paid 4.4 million to influencers.
Who?
I have no idea. That's the question. The question.
Who's getting paid to show Dot? Because I want in on the Ponzi.
I saw Capo. Other than that, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Bro, what is going on here? What? Do we know how to unstick the sticky? Oh, there. Oh, I figured it out, boys.
I
Imagine,
have been seeing a lot of Dot stuff on my timeline lately. Now that you say it,
imagine paying Capo to promote you.
They pay Capo?
He was mentioning it. He said it looks bullish. So,
Oh, I was going to say. I mean, look at this. What do you guys think of that? I'm just saying. You know, what does everybody think of that?
Is that Kusama?
That's Kazama.
I mean, I'm probably not playing it, but more power to you if it's a great setup.
I'm just saying. What do you think of the setup, Louis? What do you think
It's
of the
good
setup?
confluence, I think, if you have a bunch of alts that look bullish on a higher time frame.
yeah, a lot of the 2021 coins look like that. That's why I'm bullish on a lot of them. A lot of people are not paying attention. They want to keep playing the meme coin roulette game, which is fine. Some are winning, most are losing, but there's a lot of coins that look like this, and they're probably going to do 3, 5x, 8x, maybe 10x. Like if that's not enough for you, then you're never going to make it. So there's a lot of layup plays that are just sitting there like this, just forming bottoms. And people don't want to pay attention until they start breaking out, and they're going to be chasing. So I buy charts like this. I'm not specifically buying this, but I like the concept. I like the look of it, and this is kind of what I'm looking for and what I've been bidding over the past couple months.
which one's Louis?
That's for the Discord only.
All right.
Yeah, they pay for the alpha.
All right. Keep your secrets.
It's a secret
As Frodo
recipe.
likes
Yes.
to say.
That's not fair, Louis. That's not fair. It's not fair to all the people who show up here and complain every day. All right, it's not fair to bears that you don't allow them in on your alpha. How about this, Louis? Let's do this. Let's do a little lineup real quick. You can give one of those coins if now you don't have to. I'm just giving a scenario. If we can get to like 250 likes.
Okay, fair enough. What are we at?
Tommy, what are we at?
Let me look at the YouTube. Any guesses?
I would say 150.
100?
146.
Oh,
Bruh.
yeah, that was close.
Louis won. Yeah. You won that one. I look, here's what I think of ILV, right? I think it's a really simple play. I think it's a really simple play. I think the low is in for that. Ondo, we already know. Look, you go up, you go sideways. You go up, you go sideways. There's no other direction for Ondo. It's up and sideways. That's it. ICP has always been just I've been hearing a lot of fun on this. And I was like, this is good. This is a good setup. Because the more FUD, the better this is. I'm thinking like a retouch of liquidity probably in the $6 range, $6.92. But really, you're kind of in that lower tier. And I've talked about this before too. When you come anywhere within like 10% of your target range, you should start bidding anyway, even if it hasn't hit. And currently we're about 17%. But I do think that this will form a higher low. I see you laughing, Tommy. All right, I see you laughing.
I'm laughing at the comments.
But I do think it'll form a higher low structure. And man,
No, he's laughing at you, Will.
I know.
He's laughing at you.
The strength.
You need to combat that. You need to combat that, Will.
Jack is over here like fight. He's over here egging it on. The price action though, man, like Tommy, regardless of opinion of
Will, the question is, why would I buy Kusama and ICP over things like MOG and things like, well, Pepe has shown a lot of relative weakness, but you have seen some strength from various meme coins this week. Obviously, things like ENS have shown some local strength. Maker DAO, which is that is an older coin, but why would somebody, and this is a question for you, I'm not trying to pick at you, but why would somebody buy a coin like ICP or Kusama at these price ranges?
So I'll give you a reason why, and I think not enough people talk about this. The reason they would is because they don't want to buy shitcoins, right? There is that crowd out there that absolutely refuses to capitulate to shitcoins, but they are looking for opportunity elsewhere. And I think in those, it's just like the stock crowd. Now you can make fun of them and say they don't make money, but at the same time, they will make money this cycle, I think. Just buying the right ones, right? Or being positioned in the right ones. Plus there's going to be safety plays, right? There's always going to be safety plays that are going to be safer. They have higher liquidity. You don't have to worry about getting rugged yet. You will get rugged in the bear run no matter what. And, I think that they want to take those type of plays. That's why I bring them up. It's just like stocks, right? Like, why even talk about stocks? Why? You're getting a better ROI just buying shitcoins right now. Like, there's no reason to discuss stocks. But I think like being ahead of the trends can be lucrative, right? Like buying, a shit ton of shares of Lucid at $2, reminds me of buying I'm not saying Lucid and Tesla are the same, but I am saying it reminds me of buying a shit ton of shares of Tesla when it was freaking stupid low too, before the first split. And I think like a lot of people, they're coming in here trying to trade everything and they have no real holdings portfolio. I have a couple holdings portfolios in the stock market, and I also have some in crypto, right? Like Bitcoin, so on and so forth. I know a lot of people are like, oh, why would you hold Bitcoin? You're going to underperform. Because if I get wrecked, I have something to pull liquidity from to buy shit again.
Yeah.
Right?
If you didn't buy Bitcoin this whole cycle, Bitcoin outperformed like 95% of altcoins. Like that's what's honestly saved my portfolio thus far. Stuff like Pepe. But I would say everyone should have tokens like this, anywhere between 500 million, 750 million, 1 billion market cap coins. There's a place for it in everybody's portfolio. Like everyone wants to be like, oh, what's the most risk I can go for the highest reward? Yes, there's a place for that in your portfolio. Like I have low caps. I got micro caps, but I also have mid caps. I also have large caps. I also have Bitcoin. Like, and if you've just been high risk, micro cap shitters or whatever you want to call it for the past 6 months, yeah, you might have hit a win here or there, but 99% of people are losing and they're bleeding. Their portfolios are bleeding. Their portfolio has no base. I look at it as like building a house. If your portfolio's base is going to be all super high risk plays, it's going to fall apart when a little gust of wind comes in, you know. But if you got a solid base with Bitcoin, and then on top of Bitcoin, you got your ETH, you got your XRP, you got your Solana, you got your whatever you want to call it. That market turmoil comes in, at least your portfolio is not bleeding 50 to 75% when the tough times come.
Here's my one issue with that statement, Louis, is I agree in theory it should be that case, but as we've seen in these downtrends, at least over the last 6 to 9 months, and I actually want to go over to you here in a second, Louis, to talk about Andy, because we've gotten a good number of requests in the comments, and I know you're much more familiar with the chart than me. But I think for me, a lot of the allure with meme coins lately is that when altcoins go down, most of them have all gone down like the same amount, percentage wise. So even if you're holding something that you would believe is stronger from a fundamental perspective and should hold up better, the wicks that we're seeing on them, marginally speaking, aren't. I mean, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they're, when we see downtrends in altcoins, meme coins and quote unquote fundamental utility tokens go down the same amount, unless they're, on chain. Then I think we can separate those, right? Like the ones that
if you're like a Pepe or a Mog, yeah, well, those are already like, what's Mog at? What's Mog's market cap? I don't even know, but like, I'm sure it's high. Like I'm sure it's like in the hundreds of millions. Yeah, like that's like a low, like low to mid cap for me. Like I'm saying like most people that are coming into this space are chasing these micro caps. Like they're coming on chain and they're chasing these $500,000 market cap or these 1 million to 5 million market caps. Like, and they'll lose 50% of their money in like one down day. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like the ones that have proven that they're going to be around and they're solid. Yeah, those are safer. Like Pepe. Like that's why I have a lot of money in Pepe, because it's a proven meme. But I mean, when I was buying it, it was maybe in the hundreds of millions. Same thing with Andy. I didn't buy Andy until it was around like 100. I was around 100 million, and I started buying between 50 and 100 million. But like a lot of people are chasing these 1 million, 2 million market cap coins, and they're just getting absolutely wrecked. Like it's just.
I think what Louis was trying to differentiate was the difference not between utility or memes, but more between like the market caps of each.
Exactly,
so more like between high caps, mid caps, low caps. So for example, if you were in just Bitcoin or ETH, they are down just minus 16% currently from their respective highs from March. So, but if you hold some low cap, right, it's probably down like minus 80% since March or more.
Probably more.
Probably more.
Low cap.
Probably wrong.
Yeah. So basically, it's not. I guess I wouldn't say memes versus utility. I would say there's room in your portfolio for all different sizes of market caps, but you want the larger part of your portfolio to be larger size market cap coins if you want to survive. Especially times like this, like times like the past 3 or 4 months have proven that you need that in your portfolio. Or else you're just sitting cash. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. I mean, I've also experienced red on my portfolio over the last couple of months, but I haven't been wrecked. Like I'm down like maybe like 20%, 25%. I'm basically down what Bitcoin's down. Like if you're following Bitcoin, you're good. If you're underperforming Bitcoin, you might as well just own Bitcoin. There's no reason to do anything else at that point. You know,
that's real.
There's some of these that I play with decent size in the shitcoin space, but I definitely don't all in. I have my holdings portfolio. I even have a ledger, right? Somewhere is over here. And I think that, in those scenarios, I add stuff to my ledger all the time. I don't even look at price. I buy a couple things in there. Maybe I buy some KSM or I buy some DOT and I'll just sling it in there. And I think that when I get profits, I think of it like, I made a winning. But rather than putting that cash flow back into my bank account, I just buy something else with it and put it into my ledger or something like that, right? So I'm just taking profits and kind of storing some stuff away because I think that they're at such low pricing that I think even by next cycle, I'll still be at the floor. Like KSM's so floored, like do you expect it to go lower and when the bear run comes again? I would expect it to have a higher base. I would expect it to have a higher base. Same thing with DOT and so on and so forth. So I'm still getting major discounts right now on a lot of things. It's just these things are very high, whereas like a lot of these altcoins are very low right now. And so I like to buy low, sell high. And I know a lot of people will be like, what do you mean it's very high? Well, I mean, like as far as like price action movement, these are in an uptrend. My other altcoins are still kind of trading sideways, not really downtrending, but just trading sideways. And so I have better RR in the sideways trades for right now. Later on, when they start, cooking, I could start selling some of those off and moving them back into other sideways trades. But I did want to talk about MOG, and I actually did a little sesh with the regular followers. I do a little private session with my followers that I've been doing now for 4 years. 4 years. And I usually do like a Sunday call is what I call it. And we discuss markets. And I discussed MOG and its pattern. And I think like a lot of people that might appreciate this, might not. They probably won't if they just bought. But if they are, in this for the long term and they like MOG for what it is and everything like that, then I think that you'll appreciate this kind of alpha type play. But one thing I noticed about MOG is ever since it broke this range right in here, MOG has done this kind of leveled up capitulation distribution, level down, right? W formation, breakout, distribution, consolidation, level down. And I think up here, you might be seeing the, because look, over top. See how they just sit on top of this liquidity? I think you're going to see a similar move here where you're going to see this become a distributive top, but I think you're going to sit up here longer because you can see these distributions last a little while right here. So you could like technically trade this range. But it's usually about 1 month in this range, and you'll see just some kind of distribution roll back down to the and you can see right here that it was a roll back down to the previous distribution range, and then maybe a roll back into the previous distribution range right in here, and then another breakout to the upside. So MOG has been very mechanical. It's kind of weird. It's almost like it's being really market made. So in that scenario, you know, I think your better RR here, if you're going to get into MOG, is going to be somewhere in these ranges. But I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. This could somehow make some weird, like, consolidation, accumulation, and then breakout. And then I'm on the wrong side of the trade at that point. But just looking at this from a mechanical standpoint, I think that this pattern has played quite a few times to ignore it. And so in those scenarios,
it's played out on the MOG chart literally like probably once every 2 or 3 months without fail. I mean, probably even more frequently than that. You know, I remember the accumulation range, as you pointed out before, Will. It's literally known for that very pattern. Just so many higher lows, the retrace pumps, but when it goes parabolic, it does not let you in, and that's what you have to be able to hold through. But I'd love to go over to Andy. We did say we were going to share it. Louis, do you have the chart pulled up?
Yeah, we're good to go.
You're gonna have to pull a me. I'm sad nobody said that they're pulling a Tommy this week. You guys gotta be more aggressively swiping these charts.
Give me the Tommy. Pull the Tommy. Give me the Tommy gun.
We had the child safety on, me and Louis.
Yeah, I don't have the ability to pull Tommy yet. But yeah, guys, let's take a look at Andy. I know a lot of you guys are holding Andy, or you're buying Andy, or you're interested in buying Andy. And yeah, I am am a Andy holder. I was buying down here in this range. That was a great time to buy, obviously, in hindsight. But now let's look where we're at now, because obviously we are consolidating for a while now. I'd say since early June, so just about a month of consolidation. So what are we working with here? So we have entered a new price or a dance zone for Andy. We got our breakout of our previous all-time high back in April here. We created some market structure or demand right on top. And I remember when that was happening, I was actually talking on an Andy space. And we got the break of all-time high, and then we started chopping around the all-time high, and everyone was kind of freaking out, thinking maybe we were going to get a deviation instead and head back down into the range. And what I was saying, and I was like, I don't think so. I said, I think we're at the top. We are in price discovery for Andy, but I did like that we made some nice market structure here. And now that we did do that, we did end up going high. We created a new all-time high, around $300 million market cap, which is amazing from where Andy has started. But now we've been in this consolidation. And look at where all these buyers are. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Look at where these buyers are starting to step in. And that's right at this market structure that we created, right when we broke all-time highs. So we are basically, in my opinion, this is basically a falling consolidation into a high time frame demand zone after, creating new fresh all-time highs and going into price discovery. This is a similar look to MOG, like Will was showing. But that's basically how I'm viewing this. We are kind of bouncing in between this demand here and this supply zone above. But it looks like we are coming to the end of this consolidation into high time frame demand, in my opinion. You could even see, I think this was Monday. Let's drop it down even lower here. Let's go to the 3 hour. It looks like we tried to break out here, which is common in these falling wedges or consolidation patterns. You kind of get that breakout, and then you get dropped back down into the either consolidation pattern or come back to these lows. And that's what we're doing now. So in my opinion, we should see something along the lines of this. We got a breakout. Now we're coming back and retesting liquidity. Breakout traders are getting wrecked just like they always do. I do not recommend being a breakout trader. We get a little chop here. And as long as this demand zone holds, I say we go for another test of supply. And now we've tested it multiple times. We've tested it here. We've tested it here. We've tested it here. And eventually the supply should give way and we should break out. So basically what we're going to look for is this demand zone to hold down here. The lowest I would want to see Andy go, in my personal opinion, is this red zone. If we start losing this red zone down here, that would not be a good look for Andy. So basically I would want to look for and hope and see if this zone holds here. We got our fake breakout, came back down, chop down here. Once the market starts swinging back upwards, Bitcoin starts to continue higher. We see that swing upwards. We test supply. And then once we get above this supply, there's really not much preventing us from going back and breaking all-time highs and going into price discovery. So that's basically my analysis on Andy here. And just for not a all-time high target, but the next target I have eyed up for Andy would be a 500 million market cap size for Andy. And if you want to just do a measured move from where we are now, that's around, a 3.5x, something like that. So there's still a lot of potential here for Andy in the short term for sure. But that's what I'm watching, and that's what you should be watching moving forward for Andy price action.
Thank you, Louis. They're talking about Andy on Blast in the comments. Do you have any thoughts?
I've never touched Blast with a 10-foot pole, and I never will probably. So that's my thought on
There
that.
we go. Yeah, he let me back in.
Andy on Blast looks like ticker Bitcoin, I have to say, where it just like every time it gets to resistance, it just sells off without fail.
Do you know what I saw when that person posted that comment? My bags are stronger. My bags. Get in my bags. My bags are the king.
What are the likes
other
at,
bags.
Tommy?
Let's take a look. We are at 183 likes. If you did enjoy the Andy commentary and alpha and you have not liked the video already, if you could, you are perfectly inclined to smash the like button for us. We would be very appreciative. We can look at Blast. I forgot they have a token now, don't they?
Bro, Blast. Can I make a comment on Blast real quick?
Yes, I just want to say real quick before you say that, Will. Pac-Man, the reason I fade Blast and I've been fading Blast has always been because of Pac-Man. I saw what happened with Blur and to Blur farmers, and I was not bridging over there, man.
You hit the nail on the head. I didn't touch Blast with my neighbor's money. Even if I could get access to it, I still wouldn't. And I can tell you, like, I didn't touch a single thing on that network. I was thinking the same shit. I was like, the airdrop's going to be shit. I'm like, these people are going to be mad. I'm like, moving money over there, bridging money over there, watching all these hundreds of millions of dollars move over there, only to get nothing back in return through Blast Gold. Like, show me how these people made more money than they ported over. I told people in the beginning, I'm like, it's a money laundering scheme. That's all it is. Like, and I hate to be the person to call it for what it is, but when you're telling people poured over hundreds of millions of dollars and we'll give you rewards, and you don't even know what those rewards are worth, you're looking to launder money. That's what you're looking at, or you're an idiot. One of the two, right? You're gonna put money in an ecosystem that has no liquidity, in hopes that they'll give you money back, as an equivalent amount to what you put in. I mean, I think there was a post the other day. A guy did like 5 million in port. I got this actually from Shanice, but a guy ported over 5 million, and he got $100,000 in rewards. He was pissed. He's like, I brought over 5 million liquidity, and I get $100,000 return. Like that's it, $100,000. But the liquidity providers are not happy. They're not happy on that chain.
Yeah, that's like bringing $5,000 over and getting $100. That's basically what it is.
It's like, why would I even do it?
Yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah, when I initially heard about Blast, I just the name specifically that we're talking about it. I'm not going to name any names, but like just seeing who was talking about it and promoting it, I was like, yeah, I'm not touching that, just because my experience and I don't know. So that's my opinion on it. I'm not going to go too much. I don't really know much about it, to be perfectly honest, but I just sometimes you get that feeling, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm inherently skeptical about any project that forces you to lock liquidity up for multiple months.
I agree.
I feel like you have to be after what happened in 2021 and 2022. I mean, I'm sure if this is your second cycle, we all have a story of a bad story about staking for too long or locking up tokens and being used as exit liquidity in some regard. And yeah, for me, just like locking up liquidity is not something that I do. And I said yesterday, though, I think the chase for yield will return when people are wealthier in the space, if that makes sense. So you have more residual capital. You don't know necessarily where you want to park it. Maybe you feel more comfortable just parking it in things like Bitcoin and ETH and just having it sit and accrue yield. Because you don't want to have all, I mean, if you made a ton of money, obviously you don't want to give it all back. You don't want to have it all in just complete shit coins. So I think when you see that dynamic return, yield, that's the best opportunity for these yield farms to probably return. But until that, I'm going to be a little bit skeptical. It's just very PvP in a lot of these for a lot of these yield farms. So I think we kind of need to do that Louis, or otherwise, maybe we're looking at I think Dr. Outlook was talking about it yesterday, come back and sweep the wick. I think worst case you get like 56, 57, but I'm going to hope that we don't, obviously. I can't rule it out given the nasty rejection that we just had at 63K though.
No, but I feel like, and I say I feel, I sit here and I look at price, right? And I was looking at it the other day and I was like, no wick. I had this weird tick in my head, right? I look at things, I'm like, okay, certain things have to happen for things to react a certain way. You need wicks on candles. You need price action, you need volatility. So if you don't get a wick, you need to rebalance the candle. And like that's the first thing that always pops in my head when I look at a candle. I'm always looking for the wick. I'm like, all right, how far were they able to push it? All right, what was the close, the agreed upon price? All right, so this is where they like price, because the agreed upon price is typically where they like price. And you can see there at the lows, the one where Louis has it highlighted, the red area, you can see the agreed upon price is in the same range multiple times. And so they're agreeing that price is fair in that range, essentially. That's the way you should look at it. Really, what you should do, Louis, is change that color to green, because what they're doing is they're buying that range. They're not actually selling.
Yeah,
it's
more of a demand zone than
exactly.
So I'll switch it for you, bro.
I'm actually asking you to switch it for the audience, because when they see a lot of people are mentally wired to see colors like a stoplight, right? Red means stop, green means go. So they buy green candles and they sell red ones. That's their stop and go.
A lot of my candles are white and black.
Yep, that's the best way to break that mental stress is to change your coloration of your candles. But if you scroll out there, that demand zone is pretty prevalent. It's very strong.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of people really have to respect that demand zone until it's not demand, right? Then when it's not demand, then you can be like, okay, we're going lower. But for now, that demand zone seems really strong, and it seems like they want to come back for it and dip it one more time.
Also to note, like that this move here, which is very important, and I was mentioning this on Friday's call, is this move here, all of this was on the weekend. A lot of times these weekend moves get either 75% or 100% retraced. This move right here was all weekend. So all of this happened when legacy markets were closed. So if we come back, either it could hold here, because we're holding these highs here, which is kind of what I expected, or we come farther down, we have some liquidity here, and and then continue higher. But these weekend moves or these holiday moves, like what's it, Thursday? What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, July 4th. We have another legacy market close.
I was gonna say July 4th. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see what price action we get that day. But I would look to either fade it or look to see at least some liquidity get filled from whenever that market move happened. You know what I mean? Because that's just what we've seen historically. We have BlackRock, you have all these big institutions now, with these ETFs, and they're not going to miss a move. So if the move happens over the weekend, don't be surprised if they do whatever they need to do to, manipulate price a little bit and bring it back down at least 75% of the way to get their entries before. They're not going to let the market leave without them. Put it that way. That's basically my point on that. And that's why I think we see a lot of these weekend moves or holiday moves get retraced. So context is important.
Could you go back and mark out previous July 4th real quick?
Good idea. Okay.
I feel like that is
the coins on July 4th. That would just be so tough. I'm going to be grilling out, probably hanging out with my mom and my fiance, just watching a bunch of red on TradingView.
Holidays, bro. Study holidays. All right,
study strong stomachs for the coins and for the amount of food that you're going to eat on July 4th.
Just do it horizontal on the July 4th.
Mm-hmm. Vertical.
Yeah, vertical. Yeah, my bad. Horizontal. Wink, wink.
Well, that's just close for that.
Get grilled while you're on the grill.
Yeah.
I mean, it would almost be, no way, Jose, I know you said it would be very un-American to not send on the 4th, but I would argue after the last few weeks, it would be fitting to nuke on July 4th because the Patriots have not been in control for quite a while.
So it looks like most of the time it marks a bottom, but the most recent one actually was at the top of the range here. Here it is.
There it is. Oh, I love StreamYard.
I think it'll probably mark a bottom.
Boy, this one here actually marked a bottom too.
I do too.
Historically, they mark bottoms. We got
if you
here
get some sort of exaggerated puke, any exaggerated puke locally, I'm a buyer. I just am.
This time it marked
Yeah, I think the top there, even though it was a top, you still came back into range lows, right? You didn't violate range lows.
But now this time we're at range lows.
We're at range lows. so I think because we're at range lows, I'm expecting the opposite exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wanted to point that out for context. It will be volatile July 4th. More than likely, you'll get a little mini sell-off, and I think that's what will dip us into that range. We may sit here and hover, maybe retest that resistance you got drawn there. And then roll into that range, maybe July 4th. They make it look like a heavy sell-off. Everybody panics. We hit close to 60. Because I love it when they waterfall shit, man. Because you see the whole market. Oh my god! And they start screaming and everything else. They're like, look, Bitcoin just went down $500 in like 1 second. And it's like, okay, $500, bro. Chill. Like it's not that much. Like Bitcoin, look at the liquidity in Bitcoin. It went down $500, and I think that
we filled this here, and then we also have some here. So that's why I brought it here.
That inefficiency is gonna, I think, get filled. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a sweep of 61 to 60, and we hit those ranges. We roll back out just like how you have drawn there. It's not gonna be a straight V-shaped recovery. It's gonna be a slow rollout because you got to get people to believe, and then you got to get them to short support. That's what you got to get those two things in line. And once you get enough shorts piled in, which is why I think they're creating this very bear sentiment, then they can rip it in your face. I mean, go back to the 25K range again. Look at what they did on the right side. They forced a lot of shorts into the market by really kind of getting people to capitulate at the low there. I mean, we were having this discussion live on the show. I was like, dude, 25K is the floor. That's what I was telling people. I was like, you're not going much lower than that. I'm like, if lower at all. And look at how long they hugged that floor, getting people to really short that floor And then once they shorted it, it was over. Then they just ripped that candle to the upside. Then vertical accumulation, they hoped to God it was going to roll, and it went up higher.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm looking for maybe a higher low here, like something like this, and then continuation. That would be the best case scenario. But we will see.
Do you guys remember how everyone, and I mean everyone, was talking about injective and suddenly
all the jump coins just got massacred, man, without fail.
I actually like where INJ is now, though.
That's what I was saying. Can we look at that? I want to see that.
Yeah.
Scroll that out.
All I kept on hearing about was injective here, injective there. I haven't heard about it for so long by now.
This was during this was like one of the first runners. That's why, because nothing was moving and INJ was just freaking ripping all the way. It was ripping since October. It was one of the first movers.
This is a classic case of an asset that moved before everything else and had an entire market cycle, and then everybody bought it, but they didn't realize they were actually buying the cyclical top.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the cyclical top for INJ. I would say as a whole, it's kind of hard to be bullish on jump coins right now, given the news that we got about LDO last week and about he's not their CEO, but their head of trading, Canav, who, this is an aside, he probably does. I'm actually not going to say it. He might belong next to SBF, but we're not going to talk about that. That's another story, and that's up for the courts to decide. But it's hard to be bullish on jump coins with him out of the picture, in my opinion, because I'm sure he was a part of, a lot of the jump coins did very well in 2021 through means that could be considered questionable. So, yeah, I'm sure this will be a good coin again at some point, but
I've actually added it to the watch list.
Yeah. I think Jack has talked about the structure of INJ, comparing it to 2021. Maybe it was Jackus. I can't remember, but
I was.
It did the same thing, where like it ran up before everything else and then formed a complacency shoulder on a higher time frame.
Do you want the alpha in this coin, Tommy?
Go for it.
Study round tripping. Just study it. All right. Just study round tripping.
Polar Express.
If you bought this at the demand range, you're right back at the demand range.
This was lethal. This was lethal right here. This probably trapped so many people,
bro. That's an atypical trap.
Yeah.
It's here's
the
thing.
I need you to tell me that BNB is not going to do the same thing that INJ did.
No, BNB is doing the same thing. That's exactly, this is one of the reasons why I was taking profit on BNB.
What do you think that means for the broader market, Jackus, for BNB to pull back like this?
It seems like BNB is oil of crypto, where like it's the last laggard. So I think that BNB drops a little, but then it goes higher. As I said, I think BNB goes to probably to like 4 digits this cycle.
So, Jackus, I just want to point out a little bit of a different view with BNB. And BNB pulling an injective is nature healing, and in crypto, and that's what I think this is at the moment. It's nature healing itself.
Yeah.
I did want to highlight Thiago Cyprian's comment. I'm sorry if I just butchered the shit out of your name. My apologies.
Probably did.
I'm really bad with that. But I've been asking the same question. Can we highlight that, Tommy? I've been asking the same question.
When Lambo?
Yes. I need my Lambo. I need this thing to hurry up. Let's get it going. Come on, guys. I'm sitting here coping so hard. I got my air tank of copium over here on the left, and I'm just sitting here trying to breathe it, but I can't do it live on the show because they don't condone copium breathing on the show.
Just to finish up on Tommy, right? Like, I just do not know why I would be interested in buying this one right here until like at least 450. Like, there is nothing, no structure, no support. We faked an upside. I would need to see something more to rebuy, but it is what it is. I still think it goes higher eventually. It's something like what TRB has done, but
TRB. Oh no, I forgot about that
yeah,
coin. Louis, what's
yeah.
TRB?
I'm reminder here today.
Reminder.
What
Yeah,
is
I would just say
DWF
on BNB is like, if this could be a false move here. We are kind of back into this structure. But if we lose this green zone, I would have to agree with Jackus, but I would have to wait and see us lose this green zone before getting too bearish on it. So that's just my take on it. So we'll see. You could even make this more of like a right triangle. And ascending triangles historically, you kind of get this false move where it breaks out, comes all the way back into the formation, and then continues higher again. So I'd watch for something like that. But if we lose this area here, it's toast at least till around here, like 450, like Jackus was saying.
Check the monthly.
Just get rid of these drawings.
As Will says, put on the monthly.
Bro, that shit looks so predatory. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
That wig. Oh,
Why would
God.
you buy into this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying, But yeah,
Bro.
look at all this here.
Yeah, I think that's getting filled, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's injected 2.0.
But time will tell. Would you
Look,
say TRB, Tommy?
Say it again.
You said TRB.
Yeah, Teller. I don't even know what it does. I just remember that
thing.
Bro. No.
What do we call this pattern, men? What do we call that?
Death. Pull up whiff, though. Pull up whiff.
Dear God, that chart. Somebody deserves to go to prison for that, for real.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I just wanted to point this out because this one was pretty, not that chart. We need the deck screener chart.
Get the MaxC chart, Louis.
Oh, is it MaxC?
Yeah.
You know what I'm looking for.
Not the futures, the spot.
Oh, is this futures? Whoops.
That works too, actually.
Okay.
No, I don't see the wick.
You want the full price history, Will?
I want the wick.
You do have to go to deck screener then, Louis.
Yeah.
All right, just give it to Will because I'm gonna have to reshare my screen. I'm only on TradingView right now, so unless is there a deck screener option on here? No, right?
No.
There shouldn't be.
No. All right, you're gonna have to give it to Will.
Inevitable TradingView functionality, though. I'll hit up David Bell and tell him to add it.
Yeah, hit him up.
All right. Yeah, let me get in there real quick. Let me slide in.
I'm actually gonna have to run. I gotta go for a doctor's appointment, so I will catch you guys later on the afternoon call.
All right,
man.
See you, Louis. Hope you're in good health.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's my wife, so
I hope she's in good health.
she's good. We're having a baby soon, so
Hell yeah. That's
yeah.
exciting.
All right. See you guys.
See
See you, man.
Yeah.
Am I looking at the right whiff?
Is there no wick?
Oh, I think I'm looking at some kind of rug one.
You're definitely looking at some kind of rug one.
Dog with
It's kind
half
of hard to
second
find
chance.
the contract, honestly. You almost have to search for volume. Let me see is it on Radium or Orca?
Where is it?
Orca only listed whiff in June or May. That's kind of shocking.
Look. Dog with hat, right? But that's not the right one.
Yeah, go search deck screener for volume.
How do you do vol?
Go to deck screener,
I'm on deck screener.
the home page.
Oh, gotcha.
Just click on the logo at the top. Yeah, that'll work too. And sort it by volume. This is also alphabet.
Bro, why do I have to go this way? All right, where's
I don't even
the...
know, man. It's kind of hard to find for whatever reason.
Here, let's do this.
I'll find the contract. I'll drop it in here for you.
I think this is the contract. This one, right? On Radium?
Yeah.
Where's the wick?
Where's the wick? We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Did somebody clean this chart?
Deceived.
Somebody clean this chart, bro.
Yeah, where'd the wick go?
Or maybe it's no, it's not there on the daily.
Hopefully somebody got my Stephen A. Smith reference.
I did. Bro, what has Dex Screener done?
They butchered our boy. Because it should be sometime in like January or February, I want to say.
Yeah, look, January, February. They deleted the wick, bro.
Apparently, we're being boomers. Will use bird eye.
No, but why do I have to use bird eye? That's dumb.
It used to be on Dex Screener, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's bird's eye, right?
I hadn't looked at whiff on Dex Screener in so long. It's just been so nice that it's been on TradingView, honestly. Yes, I'm assuming I'm going to have to answer this question almost every show. I answered it at the start of the show. Tucker and Max are both on a European vacation right now, so they will be back soon. But they're enjoying themselves while we are stuck in this super fun churn.
This dilemma of life.
This dilemma.
There it is. That's what I wanted to see.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you.
Jesus, bro. Sorry for
he couldn't handle us waffling anymore.
Sorry for being a boomer. Yeah. Study Wix. I will say this though. This looks like your TBR, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Jeez, Pendle's getting annihilated today.
But you see that, Tommy?
Yeah. So they swing failed the wick, man. There's no way that's the that would be so funny in hindsight, but
this is the wick rebalance. If this happens to TBR, you already know, right?
Will's the captain now.
Max is dead. Will's in control. I am the captain now.
Look at him. Look at him.
Look at me. I am the captain now. Max is sitting there watching
Pendle
the show.
Today. Is anybody paying attention to Pendle?
Don't tell me it's chatting.
No, dude, it's down 16% today. Did I miss something?
Yeah, you missed generational wealth.
Yeah, the bull market on Pendle shorts is apparently a real thing.
Is PENDAL?
PENDLE.
DLE. Okay.
It should be an ETH coin.
This one, right?
Yeah, it should be.
All right, let's check out its integrity.
Its integrity.
I don't know, bro. Like, you could find support, right? You could find the support. So this one's a tough one. I had to make those noises because it's almost like you're in pain just looking at it. But
that one looks like it's going to make a lower low and bounce. To me,
you think it's gonna do something like this?
Yeah, maybe a quicker bounce than that though. I wonder if a chart like that is leading Bitcoin. I hope it's not, but maybe we do get some swipe of the low or trade into the low again before bouncing.
Like that, maybe?
Yeah, basically.
Short-lived, short rotation. It looks kind of like MOG a little bit, like the way it does these weird roll into the range breakout type moves. Like this is
Thank you, Mark. Positions matured on EtherFi. I've been seeing Majin talk about EtherFi all the time lately. He's actually got great commentary on ETH on chain, but he's definitely bearish. So you have to obviously approach it from that, from that angle. But it's interesting nonetheless.
I mean, do bears matter though? That's the thing.
I mean, hopefully not.
If you're bearish, do you matter anymore? I would argue no. But I mean, this is a very similar type play, right? You expect them to hold the range and they end up breaking the range. You expect them to hold the range, they end up breaking the range, and then break out. So yeah. That's a painful play, man. If you got into 750, I'll pray for you. All right.
Man, I have just found an absolutely insane chart when it comes to this.
Are you going to share it today, or are we going to make them wait tomorrow, Jackus?
What does the likes look
like? I'm gonna make them wait, because like what they did or not did yesterday, is because like I was so disappointed with the way people did not press the like button yesterday. But I'm gonna make them wait. I'm gonna make them blue ball, and I'm gonna wait until we get 400 likes on some show. I'm not gonna share it until then, man.
We'll do it tomorrow then. You guys heard it from Jackus first. If you bring your A game with the like button tomorrow, we'll get some special alpha. Jackus, you're gonna show me after the show though. So we'll get a first glance at it here in a few minutes, but the audience might not until tomorrow. Either way, guys, I think this is a good spot for us to be wrapping up. We've been running for about an hour and 20 minutes. As always, we hope that you enjoyed the show. Pretty nasty rejection on Bitcoin this morning. I think we can all see that from a lower time frame perspective, right? Are we going to bounce here and form a higher low, or are we potentially going to retest that range low near 56, 57K here over the coming days? Find out next time. Even though market check can't predict to a 100% see where price is going, but we will do our best, to give you all the scenarios that we possibly can. Regardless, guys, a few notes before we officially wrap up. We have officially launched our hedge fund, BB Wealth Management, that is run by the BB team. It is a long short fund, and it is managed in a way that takes into account crypto's asymmetric or its history of asymmetric returns to the upside, as well as the investment risks posed in any financial market. So becoming an LP or an accredited investor is something that interests you. We do have more information linked in the description below. As I say every day, I mean, it took us a very long time before we were able to get this up and running, about a year and a half on the back end. But we're extremely excited, not just that we can begin trading the fund, but also that we can offer you guys the opportunity, if you so choose, to potentially become investors in it as well. But more information linked, like I said, in the description below. Not to forget the BB Academy, guys. It is a tremendous value proposition for what the course offers. And that is, as I say, you have such a diverse team of traders that all approach the markets in very different ways. So it's a great way to hone your educational base. Maybe you want to sharpen a specific tool in your tool belt, et cetera. I think it's an incredible value at $4.99 currently, because like I said, we really do all have very different trading styles, and we approach markets, I think, in a very effective way, as we've proven over the last 2 years. So yeah, moving on to our programming, guys. If you enjoyed Market Check, we will be live. Yeah, Master Cook. I love that, man. Master Cook, like Master Chef. You're absolutely right, Smash Reviews. I love that. I'm probably gonna steal that. So just get used to hearing that from from here on out. But if you enjoyed Market Check, we will be back for another episode at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, we will not be live on July 4th, but every other day of this week we will be live. Well, every other weekday, that is. We usually go live on every day the New York Stock Exchange is trading, if you are ever wondering if we will be live or not. Not to forget Market Talk, hosted by the legendary King Wabi. That is a Twitter space that we run from our BB Twitter account. So make sure to tune in for that as well. If you enjoyed Market Check, maybe you want a little bit of market talk, no pun intended, in your afternoon, end your day. It's a great way to build on top of maybe what you heard this morning. But yeah, Wabi does a great job with those shows as always, guys. So make sure to tune in for that as well. But yeah, guys, we will be back tomorrow. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week. If we don't see you again, hopefully we do though, because Jackus is bringing some special alpha tomorrow. So you better bring your like button A game. But that's it from us, guys. Thanks again, and we will see you tomorrow.